As the council meeting is now live. Peace and love to all. We're going to be tending to the holy instructions from chapter 43 out of the Circle 7, Holy Quran.
All right, I'm going to start it off.
Oh, yeah. Welcome.
Okay. Chapter 43, Holy Instruction from the Prophet. The insufficiency of knowledge. 1. If there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything with the reach of man that is worthy of praise, it is knowledge. It is not knowledge. And yet, who is it that attained it?
Could we stop and elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm.
Through your experience,
Mm.
Great Elder, who has attained it?
Not many. When you observe and after you once was in the same position, and then you was able to be awakened and come out of that state, then you can see who's who. And many, the majority of the people have fallen short according to the measurement of the truth. What I've learned within the last 13 years, it don't look good. It don't look good.
Do we hear anybody, do we hear people as a collective praising knowledge?
No. They praise others, they praise football games, they praise baseball games, they praise what one have achieved, and they glorify all these things. This is what's going on. And it's become a way of life now. And now when people see this, they want to come and try to be a replica of the same thing. They want to do the same thing, achieve this. And like the NFL draft, I heard some of the brothers say ever since they was a little boy, that was their aim. You see what you're aiming for?
Mm-hmm.
You see what you're dreaming for? Mm-hmm. See, if you start out wrong, that's where you're going to wind up at. If you're aiming wrong, you're going to miss your shot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We talk about insufficiency. And it's all around.
It's all around. If there's anything lovely, y'all tell me.
Lovely.
After we done lived a good experience of life.
Yeah.
Is it the physical thing? Because as men, as women, we've achieved physical attainments.
That's right, Rick. And we've fallen short in that field, in that game.
Yeah. And
because a lot of hearts being broken. See, when we say love, we need to be specific and more certain. When we say love, who is that aim and who is what we are pertaining to? Because when we talk about love in the flesh and not the spirit and truth, you better watch out. Because this is what's going to happen. on down the road, somebody might change their mind, and you so in love with the wrong thing, and now your heart is broken.
We done been down there.
And we've been down that road, physical road, all of us.
And when those moments occurred, what did we wish we had?
Well, here you want God.
Yeah, we start asking for God.
If you don't want to kill yourself, if you commit suicide, then you say, oh, my Lord, I've been doing the wrong thing.
That's right.
Now, and most of everybody get in trouble. That's the first thing they holler out. Lord help me. God help me. Jesus help me. But all that time before then, you didn't need it. Need neither one. But when the condition are serious, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That shows at that point how much you did love your Creator.
Mm-hmm.
If you did not show that effort,
That's right.
your life is not lovely.
You
do not love from Sufian. It is a waste. You are a waste in the eyes of all for insufficiency of knowledge. If you are not pertaining your spirit to the divine, and it's as the great elder say, you can love the flesh, but you love the spirit. But then we all have experienced what we call heartbreak.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, you
Right.
are in the beginning and the ending of each day.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And the title of our instructions is the insufficiency of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
These why all the problems occur.
That's right.
When we're talking about knowledge, knowledge begins with the word know.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about know the noble way.
Mm-hmm.
The noble way is always knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This is what has always been honored since the beginnings of self-discovery. And with that, it has been polluted and diluted into a whole society that does not value knowledge at all.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge we're talking about right here is the wisdom.
That's right.
This is a word that's hardly used in today's time. We don't expect young people to use it. It takes time.
Yeah.
But we don't hear the older people, meaning they haven't attained it.
That's right.
So they haven't even found what's worthy of praise.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the young people following those ways will fall astray.
That's right.
And that's where these happenings come from. Because we ain't looking and searching for that which is all knowing.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get in situations when we want to know, that's when we find out we don't know. So when things happen to self, this is when you find out the insufficiency of knowledge. But knowledge is not the key factor that's geared in onto. Instead of insufficiency of knowledge, we do sufficiency of blame.
Mm-hmm.
And so never looking at lacking the knowledge of what the cause and the condition is. Knowledge is not a cause or a condition, but the lack of it becomes the cause and condition.
Mm-hmm.
And when we know all things, then it's something that we have to know is why each class has a lesson. Because the strive for every day is to better self. Mm-hmm. And to better self is not collecting things.
That's right.
For things come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that come and go is part of the lower self. Right. Anything of the lower self is not knowledge. Those are objects. When we're talking about God, we're talking about knowing God. Mm-hmm. So to have a knowing of God, that means having a knowing of knowledge. It don't matter if you know the word. What's making it insufficient is the knowledge. If we don't connect knowledge into actions, then this is what the Sufi says, is the world's most dangerous state. So every being is a dangerous state because they don't have knowledge behind their behavior.
That's right.
Their behavior is lacking knowledge, which makes them a dangerous person.
That's right.
And souls are dangerous in ignorance.
That's right.
They will bring harm to themselves, and anything around them is in their environment, so it brings harm to the environment. So if we don't understand this discernment of knowledge that no one can see, no one knows what's in great elder head, great noble head, sister noble, my noble. No one knows what's in the mind, the soul. I could be talking right now. You could be thinking about going somewhere.
That's right.
I could be. We not can even not be here listening.
Right.
So this how powerful the soul is. It may be the body may be present, but the soul absent from the class, from the teachings, from the hearing of the instructions, which will only bring misery. We're gonna be coming to it. The insufficiency of knowledge will only bring misery. And as we continue.
2. The statesman proclaimeth that he hath it. The ruler of the people claimeth the praise of it, but findeth the subject that he possesses. And it's speaking of, I see this a lot when we see statesmen proclaiming that they living right, and they'll say, God bless America. And the rulers of America proclaiming that they living right. But yet, look how they treat the people. And they the rulers. And mistreat people. And I don't believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that any government is not of divine. Because if we measure it by their action, it's insufficient. Even Martin Luther King said a long time ago, he was marching to the Capitol Hill, and because they had a check, and it was insufficient funds. See? And with these people that's supposed to be Christian and done been sworn in on the Holy Bible. See? The game people proclaim. We better wake up and watch out. And not turn to them, but turn to the source who created all. Three, evil is not requisite to man. Neither can vice be necessary to be tolerated. Yet, how many evils are permitted by the connivances of the laws? How many crimes committed by the decree of the council? Their philosophy over here, more crime, more police, more killers. That's all it is. Murder for hire. And get a check behind it. When I was told that they had made over 1 million laws, y'all, Capitol Hill, now made over 1 million laws for you. And all those laws, none of them are divine. Now, how are you going to be able to operate under that crookedness and that wickedness? They got laws now saying 2 women can marry, 2 men can marry. Just do whatever you want to do. See, this is where we at. These rulers making all this down here on the earth. And divine law said just the opposite. But
So it's natural law.
they don't care about divine law. All they worry about is cognitive and what they draw up. Throw the rest out the window. And that's why we have today nothing but war on this earth and this planet. Look like they ought to be tired of killing and start healing. Look like they ought to be tired of hatred and start loving. But when you see war going on, that ain't nothing but pure hate. Hate, greed, and control. And taking something that don't belong to them.
And all that is in the mention and the category of evil.
Yeah.
It says in 3 in the beginning, evil is not requisite to man, meaning that you don't even have to think of evil. You don't even have to create laws in connivance, cunning the people, Shanghaiing the people. You don't have to make laws to do such. By nature, evil don't exist, but by way of the soul's delusion, evil exists. How does these evils begin to exist? We're talking about an insufficiency of knowledge. What the soul does not know that is making it insufficient, where it's making evil, creating evil. The Sufi says it's only one thing that creates fear, and that's ignorance. And that goes hand in hand with insufficiency of knowledge, if we can see the correlation. To be insufficient of knowledge is to be ignorant. To be ignorant is no excuse. Why? Because evil is not in man. These are thinkables. And when you don't understand knowledge, you can only sustain yourself as delusion as reality. The only reality is knowledge. But when you don't have knowledge, meaning ignorance, then ignorance becomes the reality. And so the nature of the soul of man, he has to understand. Because if not, you see what man would do to himself without holy instructions. Because this is what your statesmen ain't providing. Without holy instructions, this is what men have provided. The same man that created evil created God and evil, God and devil, as names, so you wouldn't blame the man. So man is accountable for every action. When we talking about statesmen, we talking about men. When we talking about people, we talking about a collective of men and women. Ain't no spookism. Evil comes from man and woman. No way, no how. We don't have to put a period behind it. Trees not evil, grass not evil, birds not evil, animals not evil. When you just been harmed by an animal, just come in your house and just harm you. That came from a soul, from my experience. To be harmed, to be willing to be hurt, come from a soul's intention. So when we're talking about same intention is carried out on a larger global scale that now conforms the large of the public. The public largeness is now in deprivation right now. Everybody is ignoring the real life situation. Babies dying, young children dying. Everybody is playing like they don't know.
Yeah.
And self coming into the form of man is responsible for all.
That's right.
Once we trace this down and we erase the mystery, is nothing but enlightenment.
Mm.
Enlightenment is this knowledge. Knowledge is that wisdom. Wisdom to know what is and what is not. Because we, our youngest, is very, those who don't have a thinking mind and was not trained how to think from a young age is susceptible to others' ideals. And they living them out already. But holy instructions, who is passing them down? This is what is missing in all the homes to combat evil in society. All you need is holiness instructions in the home.
Beautiful.
Ain't nothing stronger than the home.
Beautiful.
Internet, online, all this is in the home. So when we talking about coming into the council, when we speaking about this council, because this council is the Sufian Council of North America. This council is the council of the divine creator. We don't make laws. They already made. These things already exist. Self as soul needs to understand the delusion from reality. This is what is all suffering. When we understand what is real and what is, we done covered it in chapter 7. Let's see, can anybody tell me from the study of what we studied? Because all these lessons add together for you to have a sharp understanding. Because once you leave here, your own soul is your own fatality.
That's right.
Not no one else.
Right.
You have to feel, you have to think, you have to move. But if you don't know why you thinking, you don't know why you moving, you don't know why you feeling, that's insufficiency of knowledge. And if we ain't doing this in a way of becoming enlightened, then we missing the whole boat of life. The goal is to be wise. Wise means enlightened. You know, not you learning, you studying. This comes to the end of the book. It comes to the end of the book, you should be knowing. You should be going past without knowing. Every chapter is to know. So in chapter 7, it tells us directly what truth is, what reality is. And if we can understand what truth and reality is, you can now free yourself and liberate yourself from all conditions and causes of suffering. If that's not the biggest thing to live down here, I don't know what it is. Everywhere we go, someone is suffering.
Yes, indeed.
They're not suffering because they lack objects. They suffering because they lack knowledge. When you go around people, you put knowledge there so they can stop suffering.
Yeah.
Because if not, the soul is going to eat them up through their own thinking. And through that, this is why I said the soul is not the essence. You're not the body nor the soul. This is a study. You're supposed to study self 3 times. Study, study, study. You're supposed to be rebirthed 3 times. If we stuck in the body after the age of 20, we're not growing. Those 10, 20, 30 are decades for the quadrant of the 3 trinities, the body, soul, and the spirit. By 30, you're supposed to be a full spirit man. But now we are full greedy man. Gratifying the lower self. I bet when we thinking about today, we ain't thinking about knowledge. I bet you're thinking about the objects of knowledge.
What you gonna get into?
This is the calamity of knowledge. Forgetfulness. As soon as we get out of class, forgetfulness. Soon as we get into something else, forgetfulness. This is why evil has spread it to the point of 2024 for 2,000 years. Wrong understanding, wrong thoughts, wrong speech, wrong action, wrong living, wrong effort, wrong attention, wrong immersion. have all caused us. And no one ain't saying, hold up, stop.
Hold up.
Let me not put my hand in the fire no more. This is where K.O.S. come in, to stop the insufficiency of knowledge. It's named after knowledge. And we understand the knowledge is all knowing. That is not nothing that we should not know. Souls, you didn't birth the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So don't even think you can stop a soul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this to stop a soul. I'm saying this to hope to inspire a soul. Because this is all you can do, is inspire a soul to be virtuous, to seek after knowledge. You're going to seek something down here.
That's right.
You're going to be addicted to something down here.
Right on.
There's no way around it. You inform. What you should be addicted to and what you should be seeking is knowledge. This is the answer to all problems. Soon as we forget knowledge, calamity happens. Just watching your being, not someone else. I'm talking about your own feelings. These things are to study. They are part of the soul to study. Why do I'm having these feelings? Why am I having these thoughts? Why am I doing these things? These are things we got to ask ourselves, or we're going to be part of the evil. Oh, yeah, it's going to get good. Number 4.
All right. Number 4. But be wise, O ruler, and learn, O thou that art to command the nation. One crime authorized by thee is worse than the escape of 10 from punishment. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
One crime. You know, and I think about Department of Criminal Justice. What good is it? More crime being committed as though there's not a Department of Criminal Justice. But what if the Department of Criminal Justice been set up on insufficient and run that way? That's why KJ couldn't get his family couldn't get no justice. Why? You got a Department of Justice, and when crime is committed to children going to school, and they can't get none, and the parents can't get none, and then they throw the parents in jail for trying to march and get justice. Yeah, this happened in Lowndes County, Georgia, if you don't know. Yeah. This is what we're talking about. And it's an ongoing saga each and every day. This is what we're doing. It said, old rulers. It said, be wise, old rulers, and learn. You gotta learn the truth.
Do we? Yes, I'm glad you're saying this, and with the state and the government, because we need to address them for the criminal activities.
That's right.
So do we know the first criminal activity of the government of all lands?
Mm-hmm.
The first crime is creating a fraudulent identity.
Right on.
The first crime is a fraudulent identity called the birth certificate.
Look at that.
You can't get around the understanding that a group of individuals have said that you have no soul. This is what the birth certificate means. You have no soul. You are property of the owner and the holder of the original birth certificate. So if you keep identifying yourself as that name that you was born with, that's on that birth certificate, you are saying that you in allegiance to Rome. This is why when you come to the Sufian or any right form of knowledge, you get your name changed because you're not that on the birth certificate. That's ownership. And if we don't know that deeply,
That's right.
it's going to cause major suffering.
That's right.
Because you're going to be up low. Most people, let's just take celebrities in the viewpoint. They think they are their name. So you could just say, hey, what's a celebrity name? A celebrity going to appear. Anybody can think of Lil Wayne came up. Lil Wayne coming to a study of K.O.S.
Yeah.
People come. Say Lil Wayne come to a study of K.O.S. People will come. Why?
Lil Wayne.
Because of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is a name and form, not who he really is. That's a stage name.
Yeah.
So take that in the same way. Your name is a stage name. You on the stage of life for the Creator, carrying out his duties and responsibilities. If you know what I'm saying. If not, you in the Lulu land. To saying I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you getting lost to the point that your consciousness is going to turn completely dark as night. This is the outcome of insufficiency of knowledge. If I was to bring up, let me see, a document confirming yes, in 1933, we got the Creator. The Creator want this to come through.
Oh yeah.
And I heard you. I heard you.
While you're looking for that, I want to make this statement. We were talking about the birth certificate, and it's amazing how every child is born. They want to slap a number on it. What is called Social Security number.
It's close. That's close.
Social Security number. That birth certificate, and now it attached to a number to back up what my son was saying earlier. And then if you observe, there's two numbers they will ask you for if you're trying to get something. They're going to ask for you two things.
Oh, yeah, I got it right
The tax ID number and your Social Security number. They ain't worried about no other numbers. You see, if that ain't programmed and got people trained to ask you for that, because they know you got that. This is what's going on, and we ain't aware. Ignorance. Go ahead, son. You know, fine.
In 1537, the Roman Court, also known as the Vatican, also known as the people who brought you God to North America, instituted a corruption of the baptismal ceremony.
What?
Now, this is where it's very important. Trace yourself, trace your brothers, sisters, trace it to your mother, trace it to your father, trace it to their grandfather, grandmother, and you will find this ceremony. Baptism. The baptismal ceremony, so that the sacrament and ritual dunked in the water represent the conveyance of the soul of the child as property to the church.
Did you hear that?
Now, how many adults have told you that?
Not now.
How many adults know that?
Not many.
And look what they're responsible for.
That's right.
These people are responsible for the young people who are ignorant and dying young from doing foolish acts.
Yeah.
Ask them people as they've been baptized. Ask them people, are they Christian?
Yeah.
Ask them people, are they mother and father Christian? And this is why people can't leave. because they've been baptized.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a real deal.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't know your knowledge, you are a dangerous person, a dangerous soul. See what I mean? Now the children done lost their soul.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are bringing children in the world every day, not knowing these things, signing their children off, wondering why you in trouble. As soon as they do anything, you don't own your children. Since they came out you and you signed that birth certificate, you do not own them. You became an informant for the Pope. And this is documented. This is what I'm saying, 1537. This has been going on. So every child belongs to the church in trust as a deposit of faith. If you don't believe me, what's the ceremony at death?
Bring it to the church. They bring all them bodies.
Every death is at church.
Showing up people.
Why you think so?
I
hope I just proved it. Because you property of the church. And if you don't understand this, your faith, that means knowledge. You believed this your whole life and did no searching to, because I already know it's like me. You know it was wrong. But when you go against the truth, this is what happens. You get volumes of ignorance. And now you birth this. And now your own tragedy is going to be your own actions. This is why they say at the beginning of the children, this stuff is all important. Consider you are a parent, the most important of thy trust. This is trust. We're talking trust. Conveyance of the soul of the child as property to the church in trust.
Did you hear that?
You don't even know nothing about it.
That's right.
You an account somewhere on a church property. And that church property belongs to all Roman codes.
Yeah.
And they say they own your soul, own your spirit, and own your body. And no one can do nothing about it because you ain't do nothing about it while you was alive.
Boy,
so now when we talking about consider you are a parent, the importance of your trust, the being you have produced. The government didn't produce these beings.
Sure did.
You produce these beings.
Yeah, and they grab them up.
It is your duty to support, not to turn them over. You supposed to ask why. You ain't doing nothing without knowing why. This is 2024. Ain't no gun in nobody's head. Everybody is in delusion land. Just following the gods of Europe.
That's right.
Serving the gods of Europe. Has nothing to do with your forefathers.
That's right.
At all.
That's right.
Our forefathers was Buddha. To make it real clear. Buddha didn't follow none of this. Buddha didn't allow any gods to take control. When we talking about life, this is why you have no teachings in the West of these. Those are ancient forefathers that we have to understand. It said, upon you also it depends. Welfare is not yours. Child support is not yours. When we're talking about in Islam, parenthood is a solemn obligation and a duty. This is why. Upon you also your child depends, whether the child of your bosom be a blessing or a curse to you. And useful or a worthless member to the community. This is what has came up in our community. Worthlessness. What can we do? Look at us. How many people is in here after all these years?
Yeah, nobody. By K.O.S.
Worthless. And y'all are worthy.
Mm.
Y'all have been inside
Mm-hmm.
for your own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have to know y'all are worthy. The people that's not worthy don't show. This shows what they are truly about. This is about everything. If you have brought children to this world, you definitely need to know.
That's right.
If you haven't brought children in the world, you definitely need to know self before you bring anything in the world, because this is a duty.
Yes,
And this is spreading.
mm-hmm.
So now we got to get back to the last point, then we get back to the true lesson. This the illusion. Since 1933, this is before most of us was born. The third 60QV trust that's the Social Security account to speed it up.
Okay.
That's the Social Security account is used to justify the persons who have been baptized.
Look at that.
No longer own their own soul.
Did you hear that?
And therefore may be legally classed as things under, this is where you can really feel this, maritime law.
Look good here. Is that setting a trap?
Is that not setting a trap?
And then look at the translator. And ain't no better object or name to use than John the Baptist, you know that baptism, and Jesus and Jordan River. And when people read that about John baptizing Jesus, that sealed the coffin. Because now this is the true way that they think, and the right way that they think, and we all follow this way, and you can't hardly find many people that ain't been baptized. And the only one that ain't been baptized is the atheists who don't believe in it. And you just read the word baptism means somebody on you, and you don't realize it.
That's what people don't realize.
Most of my family think that.
See?
I ain't really get much about baptism like that into like the church. Most of my family's not, even though they claim to be Christian, they still ain't baptized.
I'm thankful with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This is a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's a ritual, as you know, to baptize, dunking in the water.
Yeah.
But also, they took it as a practice with the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
The birth certificate is a baptizing ceremony. So this is why you don't own it.
Mm-hmm.
You got a copy.
Yeah, sure enough you.
So that's all everybody is around here. It's copies.
A copy. Cat.
They don't know their true self. They living, back to Lil Wayne, they living to uphold the name and likeness.
Yeah.
He raps, so he got to keep rapping to uphold the name and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
But he can sell off his likeness just by using the Wayne Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. We'll have people here more than what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Just through the delusion, not the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we have to understand. Our own soul is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, group or no group.
Mm-hmm.
Individually, your soul is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do something about it, please don't expect nobody else to do something about it.
Right.
I feel this is the closest way it can get. Because these things have to begin somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't begin, what is the origin of all this stuff we have heard about, then we don't have correct knowledge.
And what year you say that was when the Social Security came on board with this number for that year? Now you said 1933. 33. Look at that.
That's when they made the great deal.
Look at that.
President Roosevelt made a compact with the devil.
Mm-hmm. How many of us don't have Social Security number?
That's right.
How about that? So if the trap don't catch you one way, they catch you another way. It's
the
why
point.
we got to have knowledge, just like the son said.
That's the point.
Because many traps been set. You miss one, he catch you with another.
He'll catch you with another.
He have so many traps set that you ain't aware of. And it's gonna catch one of them feet. You keep on stepping.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. When the people are numerous, when thy sons increase about the table, sittest thou them not out to slay the innocent and to fall before the sword of him whom they have not offended. Did y'all know once upon a time that other peoples taught their children how to hate and sent them out to slay the innocent? Call no name, bear no blame. KKK and their sons and daughters hated the innocent who hadn't offended no one, just being a dark shade of tone. Then you offend them. This was a way of life, and it's been taught by elders in household. Now you talking about mess. What we got? And when you teach them that young, what you think they're gonna do? Grow up to be big old monster. Each and every day increase that monster, increase. Knowledge, wrong knowledge, increase. That's what we have today. I ain't never heard nobody read that about no 1933 about the Social Security number. If they did that, that's gonna wake up the people.
Wake up the people.
And I never had a whole lot for the church because when I read a long time ago that the church was in on the slave trade. A slave trade. Whoa.
That's how Christianity began. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Those souls don't understand, but they're guilty by understanding Christianity. Christianity is the beginning of slavery.
Yeah, because it was a Christian crusade back then.
Right now,
well, most of them think they ain't because the shackles ain't on the hands and only around their feet, and they can move to any neighborhood, just about, not all. And they think, and they making money, and then they being seen on TV, and they being up there with them, and they say they're free. That's what they call freedom.
yeah.
But in knowledge, they're not free.
All you gotta do is ask questions of knowledge.
That's when Jesus said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. A powerful statement.
Because Jesus is nothing but he's just reteaching Eastern teachings. So when we're talking about, he's really repeating Buddha teachings.
Yeah.
He's the same. He's from the same
Yeah,
line. All of us
right.
from the same line.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do evil. We follow the noble way.
Hmm.
My name means noble, so it's only one way to honor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grow and grow and grow from a seed to a fruit, you know the future and the past.
Mm-hmm.
We was told in the first chapter that man, the seed, must be planted in a deep soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the fruit unfold to show the tree. So when we're talking about this is how you know you're growing, it's through activation of knowledge. what you stop doing. If you're not removing delusion from you, then you are cultivating delusion in you.
Right on.
It's just like playing basketball. If you playing basketball, you're getting better at it. If you're not playing basketball, you're not getting better at it. If you practice in truth, you're getting better at it. If you're not practicing truth, you're getting very skilled in ignorance.
Right on.
And a lot of us is unskilled in truth, which is a wholesome quality. Truth don't have a rising, a birth, and a death. That belongs to souls. I keep saying souls come in and souls go out, don't y'all? I mean, I'm observing life. So man can't be the body of the soul. We keep saying it, come and go. But then we don't understand the in-betweens of the cosmic play going on in between A and B. So this is why we have the studies to remind us throughout all the corruption, because you're going to hear more corruption in the day than you hear truth.
That's right. That's correct.
And so one day gonna overpower. 6 days gonna overpower one day. So when most of our life is based on 5 days, that's greater than 2 days. That's greater than 1 day. So when it comes to knowledge of self, hardly anyone puts more knowledge on self than the activities of self. The activities of self is an illusion. They don't exist. Everything you did yesterday don't exist. You got to do it again today if you want it to exist.
That's good.
Stop doing it, then see if it exists.
That's right. That's right.
So we saying if we understand what life really is, it's the continuation of eternity. Today is yesterday was today. Today is gonna be yesterday. Tomorrow gonna be today. Is that not eternity? You living through the phases, but we not understanding what we not. And this is why we need knowledge to know what self, who self, and what self is.
If the object I desire, demanding the lives of 1,000, say, die not, I will have. Surely thou forgettest that he who created thee created also these, and that their blood is as rich as thine. Question mark. Seven, saith thou that justice cannot be executed without wrong. Surely thy own words condemn thee. In the super, it said, when you speak, it says, speak the truth. And I say, why not? Because when you speak and it's not of the truth, this is what you do. And it's stack up and add up.
Stack up.
And the scripture said, the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Allah is eternal. They took Allah out, put God there, but when you ain't the translator, and you gotta go, you're gonna have to read what they got. Unless you're gonna write your own. You be your translator. Yeah, true.
And that's what we'll find out if we was to trace back. That's who Buddha was talking about. Allah.
Yeah.
Allah, Buddha. But we don't know how language because I had to learn myself how language comes to be. So you have to actually trace languages back to languages that pre-existed, English, Latin, especially Hebrew. These things pre-existed these things.
That's right.
Hebrew is just a later thought.
Oh, yeah.
All these things that we receive in these times ain't ancient language.
Sure, yeah.
The Sufian is the most ancient language you will get. Those words take you back into back. That's what I'm saying. You will hear Buddha using them. You will hear the same vibrations.
Yeah.
You see, in the same thing, they have coded off. These Westerners or Romaners, they cut off a large estate, a vast estate of understanding. And so we don't associate none of these people as a part of Abraham. These people come from Abraham. Buddha Buddha is Abraham. So it's like once you get into the understanding and what Buddha really called himself was a Brahma. So, but we don't know these things because they in text, in pre-sectarian before Christianity came, already written.
Yeah.
But now we have those things. Like the word for Buddha, for self, is Atta. That's Allah. If you understand language, T's turned into L's later day.
Yeah.
So what we say, like with T words, they was L's back in the day. So we have to understand how the language really come about and what was really there. So when we have the English language, we got to know how to use the English language because it's codified, mystified, and it's an occult wisdom. This is why they came over here with it, where they can psycho shift us into a delusion when all we knew was the truth.
That's right.
But when they came with their delusion with names and forms, this changed the whole game.
And when you find out the truth and let them know that names are important because each name has a vibration behind it and a meaning. And when you find out this and you share it with others, they don't believe you. They'd rather keep the slave master name and be just as fine. And you see today, young folks give birth to children, name them right them same old slave master name.
And add evidence to what you're saying. Canon 280. The true naming of a thing is its power.
See?
Man, the sister was having a good conversation about names, and I was explaining this is why names are so important. See, we using copies in English of names that truly existed in the past that still exist now that we just don't use. And this associates with complete freedom. Everything else you use, it'll start putting you into language prison. English itself is a prison if you don't know how to use it. If you don't know what truth is, English will delude you of truth.
That's right.
Because that's what it was created to do. But at the same time, truth you can't kill, you can't die. So it can only reveal the truth at the same time once you enlighten. So when we talk about the true name, this is why the great divine creator name has almost been erased. There is no name for the Christian God.
Sure isn't. It's blank. It's just God.
And that's deliberately. How can that be a religion of truth and you don't have the name of the creator?
Yeah.
The true name is his power.
Yeah.
Why we ain't got no power over here? We serving the gods of Europe. Rome.
Yeah.
Rome got all the power.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know nothing of them,
Mm-hmm.
but we follow and adopt their ways when in Rome doing wrong. So when Rome come to you, you become Rome.
Mm-hmm.
That was never our philosophy. That is Roman. That's Roman philosophy. When in Rome doing wrong, don't that sound like Roman philosophy?
Yeah, and they got what they call a municipal court.
Right.
That they supposed to punish you by, and that's wrong.
Right. It's because you use the wrong words. What is the right word for court? You see what I'm saying? If your mind don't have the right word, you screwed. All you got is their name that they gave you. Tell me I'm wrong.
So the word court, when I look at that, you have, I see where on course they play games.
Here we go, see.
A tennis court, basketball court, the list goes on. Now, where they use that same philosophy in the court of law, what they call the courthouse. Is that another game they playing with you? When they bring you what they call under the rule of justice, they call it a courthouse. And they have control and play game with your life and determine how long you're going to be sent away or whatever the case may be.
That's what we're going to have to wake up to is the language. I want, without, just start using names and just see how many names come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we just start naming something, I'll say just name me something.
Yeah.
Like for exercise, like just name me something. Just anything come to y'all souls thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, football.
Football.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that word originate from?
From someone.
See, that's what we got. From a soul.
Basketball. That's
From
right.
it came from a soul.
It comes from someone.
Nah, that's why we have to trace it back. Is that an ancient language? Basketball? Not at all. So if it's not ancient, it's not true. That's why it's a game on the court. And they can get fined, punished, and pay the fee. And you lose money for a game. But this affects your real life. You see what I'm saying? Because of the language. He don't call himself, if you notice, just watch Rome. He don't call himself outside of Rome.
Sure doesn't.
Everything is in the jurisdiction of Rome.
That's right. Names and all.
He don't use a law because he know that's not Roman.
Sure.
That's why find me a law in English.
Look at that. You can't find it.
And like Elijah said, if I had $10,000, I'd put it right in your pocket.
Yeah. And you can tell.
But donate $10,000 for anybody want a challenge. It's not an English word. It's not Roman. I've traced this stuff back. It's not Roman. This is why you don't hear it. And then the people who stole it are their friends called the Persians. This is what you have to watch. You have to know this stuff. The Romans have a good sidekick that almost you think nobody is it's like Batman and Robin. They gave us the whole story.
Oh man,
Batman is Rome.
We watched that. Batman and Robin couldn't wait.
And yes, and Robin is the Persians. They always robbing. And when we understand the bat, that is the darkness in the cave. Who brought us the story of somebody in a cave learning divine knowledge? Y'all talk to me now. If you know your scholarship, study.
Yeah.
Who was in the cave and learned divine knowledge for 23 years? It's written by their scholars.
Yeah.
And that's the Quran.
Yep.
That was not, that's not even right. That is created like hadith. To curse the creator. The Persians are super wicked. These two together,
Mm-hmm.
they do not care.
Mm-hmm.
The Persians hate, or maybe we done brought somebody for the Persians hate the divine. Mm-hmm. It could be.
Who?
She said true.
And another thing I used to always wonder, son, was and I asked myself this question.
Oh no, cousin JC.
Mm-hmm. Why was the Super Bowl always in Roman numbers? Them owners know what's going on. We play, but we don't question nothing.
Yeah. Because of the true name.
I'm doing all right. What about yourself?
All right. You doing a favor?
What's that?
My phone ain't working back here. My brother had called me to come up there, but when I got there, I was just sitting in the yard. I couldn't.
Oh, they down at the pond. That's where they at. I heard them go down there.
All right.
You can go down there right in front of Robert House.
Yes, sir. Briefing up?
Yeah, we having study.
Oh, okay. No, I ain't about it.
Okay, I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, go right there in front of Robert. That over. Yeah, just right back there. Because I heard them go back there. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. So yeah, the true naming. So basketball all the way back down to what people have as God. That's not his true name. Jesus, that's not his true name.
Yeah.
That's what Christians called him.
Yeah.
Everything that people got in the West is not original. It's a copy, which makes it a clone or something fake or something nothing at all. So we ain't learned nothing. That's why we have attained knowledge, because knowledge is real. And when you really learn true knowledge. Everything else is illusions. And illusions can be spoken or said.
That's right. And carry it out.
So we'll never hear the Romans say the divine creator name.
Never heard it.
And the Persians, they get people to kill themselves.
That's right.
See, that's why I'm saying we have to understand what's really being done. Because we've been a long list of repeating from people who we thought had truth. And we've come to find out they didn't. And so when we come to why, that's why I'm saying with the Persians, because that covered the East over there. They the Westerns of the East. They would tamper with anything. The West over here, we already know since we over here. Right. So none of these things that we have over here is actually the real name of anything. The states ain't the real name. That's what I'm saying. You don't live in Georgia, but you call all these things are wrong. And if you right, and if you keep saying I'm this name on the birth certificate, I live at this address, I live at this, we ain't understanding truth and reality. You live in your body.
Right.
You don't live at no address.
That's right.
You don't sleep on no number. You sleep in your body.
That's right. Beautiful.
You wake up in your body.
Beautiful.
These are fundamental things that why we don't associate. We are divine beings. And we can only have divine knowledge at these points. Anything else lesser is lesser and not even worth any part of your soul. Awareness, thinking, willing it, reasoning ain't even none of that. You don't reason a lie. You don't just sit here and try to figure out a lie. You stop. You stop. You don't go along with it. So this is what we mean. If we know the true names of things, then we will not go along with the false words of things.
It's just like what you just said. If you ask a person today, where do you live? They'll say 5097. You're going to give them the address. Every time. That's the trap. Address is a trap. And you don't know whether you know or not. And everybody and they ask you the question, What's your address? Well, I see where you reside at. But you don't use that term. You say the address and the number. Roam all day long.
And the Sufa tells us this is the face of evil.
It is.
You ain't gonna see no other face of evil.
Mm.
Then 14, the love of the false word. A face speaking false words to you.
Mm.
It's the face of evil and the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nothing think about it. The
Mhm.
sun don't lie. Why? It's only man and woman. They'll sit there. We'll say it, you know, because we got that in it. We'll say, you're a bold-faced liar. You see what I'm saying? Bold-faced, just to say the face. And then the liar, what's coming out as the word. This is why the Sufa saying speak truth. When we saying truth, we talking about speak the true names.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go off the fake names. The fake names is not you.
Mm-hmm.
How can you express yourself
Mm-hmm.
in fakeness?
Yeah.
When you yourself is real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To not express that is to not express the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now you stuck with the soul and the body.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to express from these two inclinations. What the soul thinking, and the soul is thinking from the program of Rome since you've been kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't sat down like one is sitting down in here, you ain't doing no reprogramming, no deprogramming. You are running off the program.
Mm-hmm.
And the program is built on false words.
Yeah.
Everything in our head right now.
Yeah.
If you don't got these words of the circle 7 in your head, if you don't got these words of the Sufa in your head, these are in English.
Mm-hmm.
You got a whole false illusion in your head.
In your head.
And you don't want to die with this. You're supposed to clean this out before you die.
Right on. Mm-hmm.
This is what we all have to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is your individual process. Right. Why you here as an individual?
Mm-hmm.
It's to clean your heart, to clean your mind,
right.
and to clean your body.
Mm-hmm.
So the heart is the spirit, the mind is the soul, and the body is the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep these three clean. These are the three rebirths. These are sacred teachings of the tree of life that they only hinted of in the Bible. And didn't never tell you how to eat from the tree of life. Or did y'all find it? And I didn't. Hey, if I didn't find it, they just said if you eat from it, you should have immortality. Now, with the teachings of Jesus from John, because in true reality, John the Baptist is the start of the fake baptism ceremony. So now everybody get baptized because they say Jesus was baptized.
That's what I always heard.
And who baptized Jesus?
John
the Baptist.
Look at that.
That's a lie.
Look at that.
Blatantly, fraudulently claimed.
Look at that.
You won't find that nowhere in ancient texts.
Mm-hmm.
If it exists in ancient texts, it exists. But if it don't exist in ancient texts, it don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
The people of ancient was pure, sincere, honor. They didn't write what we read about the Sufa.
Yeah.
How your writing will take you to your end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst crime. Is not the one who killed in the name of. It's the scholar who wrote such lies and the preacher who give life to evil.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look, to get to the tree of life, just praise people like Noble Drew Ali, who come in the name of the divine creator, giving back you. So I ain't got to lose the touch. Thrice blessed, chapter 3:16. Thrice blessed. Thrice mean three. 3 times blessed is the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self, the dangers of the lower self, the behaviors of the lower self, and is himself his higher self. These are some of the most divine teachings to ever cross for understanding self, your relation to the creator, and that relation to existence. 3 times we was mentioned. Ain't nowhere in this science they tell you all your body, all your soul, all your heart, all your mind, all your will, all your strength, give it to faith, God. That's a word that does not exist. They telling you in this to give up all you have for something fake, God, that was not the true name.
And believe in it.
And believe in it. Jesus not his true name. So what is the people over here believing in?
That's right.
That's called believing in nothing. This is, we need to understand how fatal this is.
It's fatal. I mean, devastating.
Rome won't tell you. I'm in the wrong book.
Why I'm saying this with something you said. They said you said that if you were traveling in America, they take out all the signs, you wouldn't know where you at. Because every time you get into a line, they got a sign up there saying what? The state of Virginia, the state of North Carolina, the state of Georgia, the state of Florida, state of Tennessee, Kentucky. Take the sign down and just travel over the land. That's the same land, but somebody else redid it, rethought it, changed the name. Because when you hear the United States of America, you would think that's the whole North America. But that's where they came in and set up shop, because it ain't always been 50. But they kept grabbing land till they was all over the place now. And then they documented and printed and wrote it down and put it in the school and say that Columbus was the one who discovered America. This is how far it go back. And then they came with old King James Version, and it started 1611. That's when it was printed. And this supposed to be our holy book, and everybody got one in their house. That ain't a sweet trap, I don't know what. Everybody have King James, and look at all our conditions. How about that? It hoped some, hurt others. The one who authorized and wrote it is benefit them, and the ones who believe that the authorizer and the translator was right, and they learned it, it become our disaster. Listen, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was caught up in all that. I once believed that. And lived that. In the last 13 years, I had to unlearn all of that and learn what is right and true. Can I start with 8? Okay. Number 8. Thou who flattereth with false hope the criminal that he may confess his guilt, or not die unto him a criminal, or are thou guiltless, because he cannot punish it. Nine, when thou commandest to torture him whom is but suspected of ill, darest thou to remember that thou mayest wreck the innocent. 10, is thy purpose answered by the event? Question mark. Is thy soul satisfied with his confession? question mark. Pain will enforce him to say what is not as easy as what is. And anguish hateth causes innocent to accuse herself. We done been pressured to tell a lie under certain circumstances. You ever notice when the law catch a old high criminal, they put pressure on him and make him start singing like a mockingbird, and he goes tell everybody who's involved. They call him a snitch today. See? "11. That thou mayest not kill him without cause, that does worse than kill him, that thou mayest prove if he be guilty, thou destroy him innocent." 12. O blindness to all truth, O insufficiency of the wisdom of the wise. Know when thy judge shall bid thee account for this. Thou shalt wish 10,000 guilty to have gone free, rather than one innocent to stand forth against thee. "13. Insufficient as thou art to the maintenance of justice, how shalt thou arrive at the knowledge of truth? How shalt thou ascend to the footstep of her throne?" Insufficient. Do y'all know once upon a time that the dark-skinned peoples of the earth over in America wasn't allowed to read nor write? Is that insufficient? He can read, he can write, and all his family and everything European that look what they call so-called white. You allow them, but the dark-skinned people, they can't read nor write, and they make it a law. Is that insufficient? And they made that justice, y'all. This was once upon a time. The same one who called themselves ruling justice now, the Justice Department. No one should even dare to call themselves rich over here and have all the homeless. I ain't seen what my son and them have seen here in Israel before they say from one line to the other. The homeless. You would around here in Lowndes County, you see one or two here and one or two there. And they say they're rich. That ain't justice. "14. As the hour is blinded by the radiation of the sun, radiance of the sun, so shall the brightness of her countenance dazzle thee in thy approach." 15. If thou wouldest mount on to her throne, First bow thyself at her footstool. If thou wouldest arrive at the knowledge of her, first inform thyself of thy own ignorance.
Now, what we talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
How to attain what?
Knowledge
Of truth.
of truth.
You see, it's a certain way. That's what I'm saying. You have to honor. In other words, you're gonna disrespect something you don't honor. It's just that clear.
That's right.
So if you don't honor truth, you're gonna disrespect it. And this is why I say bow
Mm-hmm.
thyself at truth's
Truth.
footstool.
Yeah.
If you would arrive or attain
Mm-hmm.
at the knowledge of her.
Mm-hmm.
This was keyed in at Genesis as the Spirit of God.
Mm-hmm.
But see, before you can get to truth, it don't start with blaming others. You got to start with your own ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start with our own ignorance, now we'll see everything open up for truth. Because truth is not outside.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul, as we say, live in the body. So that means it's not external. So what's more important than what's going on internally?
Mm-hmm.
We get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't live externally and your soul live inside,
Mm-hmm.
then you should be mindful of what's going on internally.
Yeah.
And then internally is where you check yourself for ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
This is what most people fail to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how they fall to the unbelief, the kafaroon. See, we have this whole time been willing, just like we willed anything, bathroom to something to drink. We've been willing the idea of ignorance. These are the people who stuff their ears with wool, shield their eyes, in case they hear the words of truth or the true wonders of a loving and divine creator. Rome don't offer nothing like that. But when you come to the truth, all that ceases with falsehood. All illusions should be as illusions. Don't respect illusion as truth. That's the biggest mistake to go on down here. And that's what Rome have called. They have called illusion truth. Yeah. And so you have to get into ancient texts to reprive yourself, because all you have is the English language. How you know or why I'm good in English language? Because I have ancient language. I know what words mean in ancient language. I'm not trapped in just one common verbiage. Yeah. So truth to me ain't truth in English. So I automatically think in its original form. And so I'm away from Romanism because it's not even in Romanism to begin with. So now when we're talking about they disavow the miracle of creation, this could be you. You disavow the miracle of creation and believe in nothing. This what Romanism will have self-identity as, not even believing in nothing. This is where ignorance starts, is in self. If words of falsehood is in self, and self speak the words of falsehood, self by itself becomes false, not by any other mechanism. Just by false words alone, self become false. And when you become false, you opposite of truth. Truth cannot enter now. Never will it. Truth respect itself. Let's put it this way. Truth respect truth. It don't respect man and woman. Man and woman have failed when it comes to the standard of truth. So it ain't nothing for man and woman to stand on. Look what man and woman is standing on today. And then look at yourself and ask yourself, what am I standing on today? What is my standard of life? What is my standard of self? Because life can get you into a whole ignorance if you don't know what self is. So this is why ignorance is key, because this ignorance is you. Who else is it?
Ain't nobody else but you. The man in the mirror. And you know, you find yourself in the material world reaching for all the hours. Because that's why most of everybody got so much. I see so many people with so many toys to play with. That didn't just happen. That's what they've been focused on to have all that. And you notice that a man that seeks truth, that's his focus. He ain't got much. Everything else. Money, friends, pretty much everything. He ain't got much. That ain't saying he don't have none. What he has is the most of all that everybody go and seek after and establish all that he had. Just like the parable of Jesus where he told the rich man, he said, "You want to follow me?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Go sell all that you have." Oh, can't do it, Jesus.
Turned him down.
Can't do it.
He walked away back to
Ask the
Lulu
rich man
world
today. Go out there and find the rich man and tell him to do that.
and give all he had to
Give all he
K.O.S.
had.
To give all he had to K.O.S.
Hey, hey.
Tell the rich man to give all he had to K.O.S.
Hey, rich man out there on your
I think we done hit the nail on the head.
Hey.
Y'all just said it. Okay. I heard it. You can change some things. Oh, yes. That's beautiful.
So, if you try to count up all the rich folks today, you got quite enough. Are they hitting the core? It's like they have all, like, do they attain to the poor like they attain to the rich? I put that. This is, let me read it. Anybody got anything to say? Let me just next word. 16. More worthy is she than pearls. More worthy is she than pearls. Therefore, seek her carefully. And all I can think about that other word, so another word for truth is the mother of virtue. She.
Carefully.
Carefully now.
Carefully.
You rush right in. Can't wait. Can't hesitate. The emerald and the sapphire and the rubies are as beneath her feet. Therefore, pursue her manfully. Talking about that mother of virtue. That truth.
Yeah.
Not flesh desires.
That's a whole
Say
different
more,
ballgame.
and we know how valuable pearls are and emeralds are and sapphire and rubies. That's all we want, and diamonds.
Knowledge is more important
than all that. Because of the
than $100 bills.
Yeah.
Speed it up in our time. Knowledge is more important than $100 bills. The emerald, $1 trillion. The sapphire, $1 billion. The ruby, $1 million.
Look at it.
All this is dirt. Now, take that set of knowing and place that into all the people that you know as celebrities wasting their life for high-paid volumes of money.
That's right. And they possess all these jewels.
They possess all these jewels.
Yeah.
And owned by someone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he said that before we realized.
These are the things that wrong. This is why God is only on money outside of the Bible. All our people, instead of having knowledge, we have want.
Yeah.
We don't have knowledge there. We have wants.
Yeah.
I want to be rich. And as long as the want there, and the want of good is evil.
Yeah.
We don't understand what we have because we ain't searched for knowledge carefully. And therefore, as myself, most ain't pursued carefully. To me, a man ain't a man to know how to pursue knowledge.
That's right.
This is where your manliness should go into.
Yeah.
Not trying to conquer men.
That's right.
Not trying to have objects.
Yeah.
Not trying to tell her what she can and cannot do. But you yourself, you search for what's better, what's worthy. This is the only thing that will keep self from its own ignorance. And so the pursuit of happiness is also an illusion.
Yeah.
It's the pursuit of truth that's going to bring the ultimate happiness. I mean, for me, that's what I find. For the people you say that will have truth that is low, that's me. People don't want to deal with it. That's just people, though. Souls and bodies, they don't understand. They deluded by the world.
Yeah.
They think worldly attainments is true. Attaining money is true. Attaining children is true. None of these things is true. They ain't bring you no knowledge of self yet. I mean, what do we got to see? So who gonna bring knowledge of self? Only self. Not mind, not soul, not body. None of it can do this for self. Self is the greatest thing to ever come into existence. And you won't know yourself until you can self-restrain. I'm going to say it like that. You won't know yourself. This is what it's saying. Knowledge of truth restrains itself. When you really search it, just like to know a fruit, you search it, trace it back to its seed. If you don't know it came from a seed, you will never be able to know the truth. We got to take falsehood, take it back to its essence. And that's where we find truth. We take truth and we move anything from truth. It's no longer truth. It's been altered, modified by thinking. And this is prejudgments. Oh, I don't like Coca-Cola. I don't like Pepsi. These are prejudgments. Oh, this person evil. This person good. These are prejudgments. All souls is the divine creator. What are we talking about here? So what is the reality that we're supposed to find what's real? I know you see it ain't relationships. I know you see it ain't money. I know you see it ain't whatever else you thought in this world. Remember, what you pick up in this world does not belong to self. Self came into this world, meaning you had a whole nother existence of belongings and havings before you came into a world that had what it had. Now that we here, we think this is the world of truth. This is the world of illusions. This is why you
indeed.
came here. You can't. The truth will stay the truth. We wouldn't be in this form if we didn't come out of truth. That's why you get a form, because you came out of truth. For what purpose? That's to find out.
Yeah.
Is it to get? For me, it's knowledge of self. So I will come down from heaven for knowledge of self to keep me there once the journey is over. It's the same way when we learn it down here.
That's right.
We do something to create a habit where we call it second nature. And where it's so second nature, you don't even know it exists almost. You just do it so highly and so skilled. And this is what we're getting to.
I thought about something you said when you were saying that the truth been altered. And when we look at the church and all that, you can see this since the falseness. Every church has an altar in it.
Beautiful.
And they have altar calls.
Beautiful.
Look at the trap.
Look at the trap.
Look at the trap.
See, they can't fool you when you got truth. See what truth will do?
But I'm
found the altar.
I'm reflecting because, see, I had altar call, and they'll do that. Most of the churches every Sunday they have altar call. That's supposed to be for the ones who lost. And the one who called, he just as lost as the one who called it up to. But it is, of course, in it that they put all that in the church.
The church.
That's the trap. Altar.
That's the trap.
Altar call.
To altar.
Come all thee to God.
Yeah. They alter.
And you just like a little lamb being led to this slaughterhouse. You trying to do your very best and walk right into a trap. Let's move on.
Let's keep it.
I just had to say that because when you say that word altar, it's stuck in me, and I'm going to wrap that to the church.
And that's the truth.
Yeah. 17. The way to her is labor. Jesus said the harvest is plentiful, but the labors are few. Attention is the power that must conduct thee unto her court. But weary not on the way. For when art arrive at her, the toil shall be to thee for pleasure. Say not unto thyself, behold, truth breedeth hate, and I will avoid it. Dissimulation raises friends, and I will follow it. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Question 1.
Any day, all day.
19. Naturally do man desire the truth, yet when it is before him, he will not apprehend it. How many times we've been in meeting, people come by and we say, okay, see you later. I'll be back.
Gone.
That partner, and I guarantee you.
Hey, you have food. We done seen it. I done been part of it.
That's what
I mean, it comes. But for truth, ain't no
Pop up
celebration.
at a gathering. Already.
Mhm.
Pop up at a gathering, barbecue, or whatever they might be. Drink out, smoke. You'll tell you they ain't gonna leave right there. They ain't gonna just spin around and leave. They're gonna say, hey man, what you got?
Right, they're gonna say, stay a
They're
while.
gonna say, you got these books. They can have it out.
How many times
I
have
don't
we
see
seen
many
it?
times come right here and we have class and they get out, turn around, spin. Oh, okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Go.
And that's what we're reading about right there.
Yeah, well,
It's right there before them.
It's right there.
But no soul who denies the truth wants the truth. It's a natural desire. So there go natural law. Natural law is the will of the divine creator.
Mm-hmm.
But we think natural law is the will of man thinking. And whatever he think, so shall it be. Yeah. See, it is the thing. As a man thinking, so is he. Mm. See, these stupid remarks like these things that we don't actually validate. Mm. And for me, they was there as a point. Arthur James Allen, you know what I'm saying? These are beginning points. Napoleon Hill, these are beginning points. Think and Grow Rich. You know what I'm saying? These are beginning points, but they're not the truth itself.
That's right.
And so when we talking about the truth itself, it's rich without anything.
Without anything.
And mostly it's like the sun. You can't stand in it a full day. Hmm. This is how powerful truth is. One cannot sit in it as the sun a full day. Mm-mm. This is what I have. This is why I'm dark. Hey, but this is what we doing. I'm telling you.
Hey, you know, some of them that sits out in the sun, they gonna turn dark. They start turning red and burning. I guess that's the ginger man. 20.
Oh, we didn't finish the last part of it.
Okay.
Because these are good points.
When it is before him, he will not apprehend it. And if it force itself upon him, he is not offended at it.
Comfort wound. You know what I'm saying? It's like me. How could you not be offended to not know you don't own your own soul? You should feel offended. Mm-hmm. If not, you don't have truth yet. Mm-hmm. These things I had to do something about. Because they against truth.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that name your children after truthful principles. Hey, that's all I can say. Because that's the name is the nature. Mm-hmm. And if they hear that name enough, and it means something,
that's right.
They'll know knowledge itself.
That's right.
But if you give them a name and you never tell them what it means, mm-hmm. and you calling them that all the time, mm-hmm. see, it's missing the truth. The truest thing that you have as a soul is your name. That's right. This is what an essence was given to you, mm-hmm. for you to keep, not to fall into the calamity of knowledge, which is forgetfulness. Mm. We continue before time. We're at 150.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
20. The fault is not in truth, for that is immutable. But the weakness of man bears not its splendor. 21. Wouldst thou see thine insufficient more plainly? Question mark. View as thy devotion? To what end was religion instituted? But to teach thee thy infirmities, to remind thee of thy weakness, to show thee that from heaven alone art thou to hope for good.
Nothing on earth. That's what I'm saying. That it's trying to tell us ain't nothing on earth good.
Vanity of vanity. Oh.
Ain't nothing on earth truthful. It begins and ends. I'ma leave. Does that not mean that truth did not come? I was an illusion at the same time. This is what we trying to get to as the ultimate enlightenment. So we'll know that when you leave, it's not sad. That we not moving to some far destination.
Yeah.
We only going back to truth.
Yeah.
And if you deny truth, then maybe you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we all is supposed to unite in Asalam. That's why it's Asalam. That's the name of the place of truth. That's been named by a divine creator. I didn't say it. This is the truth of what it is. If we don't, heaven should have a true name. If we talking about true names, we got a name, a description called heaven.
Yeah.
But who knows its true name?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. This is what we have to know, and who traced that to find its relevance to make sure. And this is what we have. See, only from heaven alone. But if we knew, that's what I mean, like when reading these texts, that's why I mean, like with the circle 7, it's so powerful. But if you have the Sufian, you now have the whole truth. You have the words returned. Every word in here that's divine is traceable in the Sufian. I done trace every of these words. This is what I do in my time. Heaven is Asalam. See what I'm saying? So it's telling you to show you that from Asalam alone, you should hope for good. Asalam is the name of the 47th day of the divine creator. We talking about a name. If it connects, I hope so. Because these things, it just, after, these things do take offense. We got to keep moving.
22. Do it not remind thee that thou art dust? Do it not tell thee that thou art ashes? And behold, repentance is it not frailty? 23. When thou givest an oath, when thou swearest, thou wilt not deceive. Behold, it spreadeth shame upon thy face, and upon the face of him that receiveth it. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. Just for a call. What everybody do, they hold the high position. They raise their right hand, put their hand on the Bible, and swear like hell to uphold they crooked law. We wasn't talking about divine law. He talking about that mess that they no Shane Hardo's spirit. That's what he upholds, whether you know it or not. Let's move on, cause. But I'm just reminding that what we see, they swear to uphold the law and break all the laws that they write and possess. 24. The shorter follies are the better. Say not therefore to thyself, I will not play the fool by half.
Wishy-washy.
Somebody plays the fool. They make a song.
By halves. Because the truth is what? Whole.
Whole.
So the half wise is the half fool.
24. 25. He that heareth his own faults with patience shall reprove another with boldness. 26. He that giveth a denial with reason shall suffer a loss with moderation. 27. If thou art suspected, answer with freedom. Whom should suspicion or frighten except the guilty? Question mark. Last one. The tender of heart is turned from his purpose by supplication. The proud is rendered more obstinate by entreaty. The sense of thy insufficiency commandeth thee to hear. But to be just, thou must hear without thy passion.
What a closer.
Mm-hmm.
What a game winner right there.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, because your emotion and all that cranked all up, and you get excited quick, man. You just see something, man, and get excited. You know, let her come out and perpendicular. You know. But anyway, that concludes the 28 verses of insufficient knowledge. And the top of insufficient knowledge. Misery will be next. That'll be Sunday. 45.
Yeah. We get ready to close the meeting in the name of the divine creator.
Mm-hmm.
Asalom and Wadu.